right, everybody. Welcome on in, NorCal Sports Network. Sunday night, the Giants get swept.
Sweep,
Man. And I said it. I said they're guaranteed to lose 2 or 3 and very possibly a sweep because the Padres were going to be coming in angry, losing to the Giants 2 or 3 in San Diego. And what do you know? As Louis says, a double loss for the Bay today as the Niners lost today. And we'll get into a little bit of that. We'll cover Giants here. Rough day for the Bay Area sports team. But, you know, the Giants, look, they've been buried. Look, there's the tragic number, by the way. Hey, by the way, if you're listening here on YouTube, also on Twitter, we get a lot of listeners on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, do us a favor and just go over to the NorCal Sports Network on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We got a lot of subscribers, or a lot of watchers, I should say, viewers that do not subscribe because they watch us on Twitter or X. And unfortunately, X doesn't give us any payment for their views. So if you could do us a favor and hit the subscribe button, we're over like 20. Let me look what our numbers are right now. I think our numbers for subs, the last I looked was 22 and change. Right now we're at 2217. Yeah, 2217. I'd love to see that go up to 2225 tonight or higher. You know, if we could get 8 new subs, push us up to 2225, get the likes going up, that would be greatly appreciated. We do this night in, night out. We're trying to bring you good entertainment, good guests, to bring interviews, videos, interviews, all kinds of things that we've got on this channel. And frankly, I think we've been pretty good when it comes to predicting things, guys. We're not just giving you Giants information. We're trying to actually give you real news that what we think, so that you're not misinformed. You can go and watch many other Giants channels, different things out there. Some of them, you know, they're all pretty good. I wouldn't say anybody's not doing good, but not everybody will go out and boldly say in the beginning of the year that this is a bad team. And, you know, I took a lot of heat, guys. I really did. I took a ton of heat on Twitter from people ripping me, calling me different names, like I don't know baseball. You're an idiot. You're clueless when it comes to baseball. You're an old man, this and that, old man. Hey, Giants, how you doing? You know, Giants would go on, win 7 out of 10, and they'd pop up, and I'd pop back. Yeah, come back to me when they lose their next 7 of 10 losing streak. All those little haters, I don't hear from them anymore. What happened to them?
Remarkable.
They were part of the cult of buying into Farhan's crap. This team has been crap. It's one of the crappiest teams I've ever seen. And I told you they were going to be under 500, didn't I? I said they're going to win anywhere between 75 and 79 games. Where are they at right now? They're 72 and 78. The most they can win is 84 if they win all 12 games. Guys, they got 12 games left. I think they lose 8 minimum.
Dan, I need one more loss and I win one of my bets under 83 and a half.
Don't worry, Lou. You got all your bets are going to go down. I mean, this team is they can't score. Look, I watched the Dodgers play the Braves tonight. They got 7 runs in the 9th inning. More runs than the Giants have gotten in 37 innings. In the past, let's see, the Giants have played 4 games, 36, call it 36, because they scored in the bottom of the 8th when they won their game 13-2 Wednesday. And they went 3 straight games, 27 innings, and they didn't score today until the 6th inning when John Boy Walton, good night, John Boy. John Boy Walton hit a home run. Hey, great. That's enough. If Farhan's back, John Boy's got himself a job for next year. But you know what? I don't think Farhan is coming back, Lou. I think the ship is sailing. I think things are falling apart around him. And it's part of the plan that I'm happy. I'm happy to see the Giants start losing. And that baseball I keep seeing. Do you see that baseball right there? It's kind of bugging me. Is that better? I don't like looking up and seeing a sticker, but it's there. So anyway, and I don't really like wearing this San Diego hat because it's not one of my favorite hats. If you look at all the hats up there, there's some better looking hats.
Yeah, you got Baltimore coming up.
Yeah, Baltimore should be wearing
good on you.
Yeah, Baltimore's going to look really good on me. But I don't know if it's going to be Tuesday night. It's the only chance the Giants maybe have of winning a game with Blake Snell. Bub Rab says, take the sticker off. Okay, I'll take the sticker off. Here, I'll just put it right over the camera. How's that? There we go. People are going, yes, we didn't want to see you anyway. We only want to, in fact, some of you are saying we don't even want to hear from you. I get it, guys. I know I can be somewhat annoying when I talk about your San Francisco Giants. They're my San Francisco Giants too. But I am just absolutely pissed off that I've had to be subject to this for the last 3 seasons, 22, 3, and 4. And 22, remember, they got to 500 because they won like 8 of 9.
8 out of 10.
Rockies and the Padres.
8 out of 10 and 6
yeah.
straight.
So, yeah, they were crappy then too. This is 3 years of crap baseball, and you're going to bring this clown back? No way. No way. Says
Dan, in the last 8 years, only 1 winning record in the second half of the season.
Yeah. There's no way we can bring this guy back. That's Farhan. That's for you, Farhan. And we're about to bury Farhan here, maybe as early as Tuesday.
Yeah, we only gained 1 today since both teams lost ahead of us.
Yes. Let's take a look at the
tragic number. We only
tragic number here,
1.
guys. We're going to cross out the 4.
Yep.
Everybody see that? Okay, so no longer is the tragic number 4. I think it ends for him on Wednesday night, is my prediction. The magic number is 3. There it is, guys. The tragic number. You guys all see that up close? There it is. Tragic number. The Giants' tragic number. And you know what? It was really over when they lost to Atlanta, 3-4 at home. That was when the season ended. And I told you.
Maybe after the trade deadline when they went to Colorado. They had the Colorado and the Dodgers.
Yeah. It officially, yeah. I mean, we said they were done back then, but I think when they got to within game and a half, Atlanta comes in here for 4. And you.
And injuries everywhere for Atlanta.
Yes.
Injuries everywhere.
And Atlanta comes in here after getting beat up 2 or 3 and having their bullpen decimated in Colorado.
Colorado, yep.
They come in here and take 3 of 4. That told me right there, this team was not ready for prime time. No way. I would fire Farhan's ass right now. Today. You just got swept by the San Diego Padres. If the San Francisco
at home.
If the San Francisco Giants want to become newsworthy and make a point. They should fire Farhan in the middle of tonight and tomorrow morning. That the news, instead of all being Niners losing, the Giants might actually get some news out of a news cycle. Yeah.
And then, Dan, I'll just bring something up today. With the special day for Orlando Cepeda, Roberto Clemente Day, where, people are wearing 21. They came out flat as a pancake again. And you have a starter who basically throws left, who's 4-5 with an ERA of 4.45. And he makes, again, it's almost like Cy Young's going against us. These guys have no back control. And this is what it tells me. Our scouts all need to be fired too. Because this year, I probably can remember 10 to 15 examples of a pitcher coming in to Oracle Park who has an ERA, who shouldn't even probably be pitching in the major leagues, and we can't do anything. Can't do anything. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And then, of course, the best part about the Giants again, and again, the announcers are talking about Donovan Solano, how great he is. Well, why did we get rid of him then, guys? I don't understand. Everyone talks about, the guy makes contact. They make contact. The difference between the Padres and the Giants can't even hold their jock. They have two guys on their team that make constant contact, in Solano and Reyes, and then you have studs surrounding. You know what we have? We have Conforto, who thinks he's better than he is, who's an above average player, and then a bunch of dead wood. That these guys would be the 24th, 25th player, everybody else. Ramos is great now, but I want him to be like this next year. And guys, if you look at next year's first month, me and Dan talked about it. It's brutal. We're on the road. We're going to be in the heat. The Giants literally, if we had the team right now start next year, we will start off probably 6-24 to start off the month.
Oh, the team's awful right now. And Steven Ortega, yes, I did see what Joe tweeted out about Buster Posey. I will read that right now. How did I lose that comment? Can we take that comment back down there? Okay. Here's what Joe Saski had said. It's a wrap. Buster did what we all wanted him to do, help take back control of the San Francisco Giants. Farhan is done. What a boring 6-year run. Eroded a dynasty afterglow in a few short years. Thank you, Buster Posey. Bring in new blood, new eyeballs, and new ideas. Guys, you know what? I'll tell you what. I have been saying this about Buster Posey the last couple of days. I don't think he can handle what he's watching. He played under Brian Sabian, a dog. Okay. Brian Sabian is a dog. Okay. And I emphasize dog, meaning the guy is a bulldog. Okay. He doesn't take any crap. He's tenacious. He's fearless. He's forceful. He's confident. He is whatever adjective you want to add to Brian Sabian. You could say he's arrogant in a good way. I don't care what you want to call him. The man knows how to win. He's a World Series champion 3 times over. He built the Giants. He won 15 out of 20 years with a winning record. And you can't tell me that Buster Posey is, because he's played for the man. He knows the man. The man signed him. He dealt with him. You cannot tell me that Buster Posey is happy with the results of what he's seen and had to hear this excuse making, this whining, this constant lying to the fan base and to the media, what Farhan has done. Farhan makes You know why Farhan makes excuses and lies? Because he has no confidence in what he's doing, and so he has to make stuff up. It's like a politician who's not confident in what he's saying because he doesn't really have a plan. Farhan has zero plan. I'm serious, guys. Why would you say you need contact hitters and get rid of Donovan Solano? Why would you say you want to play the young guys and then come out and say, well, we struggled, we need more veterans? The guy has zero plan. Start listening to what the man says with your freaking ears, not what he does. Or I should say, watch what he does. Don't listen to what he says, because what he does is totally different from what he says. Marco Luciano, we traded Soler so Marco Luciano could get the majority of at-bats as a DH. And then he gets what?
12.
In 9 games, 12 at-bats, and then gets sent down for a month. And then he comes back up, and then we're going to play the youth. And we bring up Matos, and then Matos doesn't get any playing time, and Matos gets sent down. You know what? You have no idea what you're doing, Farhan. You have no idea if these guys can play. And you put Donovan Walton, of all people? Come on, Donovan Walton? Seriously. Let me say that again. Donovan Walton is playing over Luciano? I don't care if Donovan Walton hit a home run today and hits 3 more on Tuesday.
He's not our future.
No, and neither was Brett Wisely. What did I tell you guys about Brett Wisely? When everybody was all high on Brett Wisely, he's hitting
one highlight all year, the homer in the ninth against the Dodgers.
Jeez.
But he's like 1 for his last 34.
Right. If you watch baseball enough, you could tell, guys, people get hot and they go on hot streaks because pitchers are grooving the ball because they don't know what to throw the guy. So they throw it in the guy's wheelhouse. Then they figure out, wait a minute, the guy's got 8 hits and they've all been in this zone. And he struck out on this pitch. Well, they start throwing him. The word gets out. And then everybody starts throwing him, Tyler Fitzgerald, like you said. Don't throw the dude a fastball. Throw him sliders and make him chase. I have never seen a team, Lou. I was watching the Braves and the
Dodgers.
Yeah. Ohtani's up with an 0-2 pitch, right? And he's up. He's got an 0-2 count on him. And the guy throws him like a slider that's breaking away from him. And Ohtani reaches out and lunges and drives it into right field for a double. And I'm like
a Tony Gwynn.
Yeah. And can any Giant do that? No, because they have a swing path that is like this. It's not, I better reach down. Luis Arias, the guy that I said you should trade for.
Yep.
I'm telling you guys, the team to beat in the National League, and I told you this at the All-Star break, when the Padres made the trades for the relievers, I said, watch out for the Padres. I think they could be the team to beat in the National League.
They went from 40-1 down to 25-1 to 12-1.
I like that team. They've got solid hitting. They look at the hitters they've got. They got Machado, Cronenworth, Tatis, Merrill, Solano, Arias, Bogarts,
contact hitters and great defense.
They can hit the ball, and they got the pitching. What wins championships? Defense, timely hitting, and
they're set up for the playoffs.
Yes.
That's exactly what you need for a playoff team to make a big run.
George, I agree with you. This is one of the worst hitting teams I've ever seen.
So you almost got to say, Dan, do you think maybe signing Pat the Bat was a mistake? He's the hitting coach.
You know what? They need a new hitting philosophy. I don't think Pat Burrell was ever a guy that just made a lot of contact. He was
always the long ball.
Yeah, he was a power hitter with a lot of strikeouts. And what is a guy going to learn to do? Will Clark would be a better hitting coach. Barry Bonds would be a better hitting coach. I I don't understand how guys become hitting coaches that weren't super successful. Burrow
And
had some
there were
success.
guys out there. I would have gotten somebody like, to me, I thought Don Manley was a great hitting coach, but he wasn't a great manager.
Right.
So there's different people that can do it. Like Bochy would never be a great hitting man. A great. He's great at catching. He's great defensively, but he is what makes a manager. You
Right.
got to do. And I'm sick and tired of getting these homie guys. Oh, he played for us 12 years ago. Oh, he's from Burlingame. Let's do that. Let's hire him. Guys, we got to get the best people. Forget about this friendship BS. It's not working.
Yeah.
Who cares if the guy lives 12 miles away? If he can't do the job, it's useless.
12 miles.
We do this all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
So he went to Bellarmine. Okay, but he went to Bellarmine 20 years ago. That doesn't mean anything. And
that's awesome.
Was Pat's first job.
Yeah, I love this.
I don't understand it. It's just like Matt Williams at third base. Okay, he was a great Giant, but he only got the job because of his.
I have no problem with Matt Williams. Matt Williams is a military Marine type guy, and Giants need that. And he's an excellent third base coach. I have no problem with Matt Williams. He's not the hitting instructor.
Yep.
He's a guy. I'm fine with. You know what? I really think the cancer of this team is. Eric was right. He said this about the Giants when he was on NorCal Sports. Gabe Kapler is the symptom. Farhan is the disease.
The disease.
Okay. And I don't think I know Melvin's had a lot of what do you want to say? What's the word I want to use? Suspect decisions, not so great decisions. I think it's hard to manage a team when you can't be yourself. And I'm not sure Melvin's the right guy. I mean, he did great with San Diego 2 years ago. They went to the NLCS. Last year, they were under 500 until the very end of the season, and they underperformed.
And now they lost Snell, Hader, Soto.
Right.
And
they're
plus 25 games.
I'll just say this about Melvin. I would like to see what Melvin would actually be able to. This is why I said fire Farhan at the end of August, because I wanted to see what Melvin could do. After that Brave series, fire Farhan, let Melvin run the ship all the way he wants to for the final month. Look, when you've got guys that come up, Derek Hill, and he comes in, Donovan Walton, he comes in, and he's in the lineup the next day, that tells me that Melvin's not making the decision to put these guys in the lineup. He doesn't even know. I don't think he probably even knew who Derek Hill or Donovan Walton was. Okay. I mean, maybe he met Walton in spring training or whatever, but come on. Donovan Walton's coming into play, and Marco Luciano takes the pine for Donovan Walton. Look, you're out of it. You got to play the young kids. Luis Matos should be in the lineup every day. So should Ramos, and so should McRae. The rest of the guys, we don't need Yaz. Have we seen enough of Yaz to know what he can do? Fine. Yeah. If you want to sign him next year, go ahead. Let somebody else sign him, a new GM. But play the young kids. The lineup
There's
should
no
be.
Need to play everybody else. Play the young guys. We're already eliminated. The game.
Why is Wisely playing shortstop? Put Casey Schmidt up here. We know Wisely's not a future player. Do we know if Casey Schmidt is the answer? No, we don't. It's possible he is not, but he should be getting at bats. You got the infield should simply be this with Fitzgerald out. It should be Chapman, Schmidt, and I don't care, Luciano at second, and whoever you want to throw at first, who gives a rip. The outfield, Matos, McRae, Ramos. That's what it should be. When Fitzgerald comes back, Fitzgerald should play first base. You know what? Just play all the young guys. Give me Fitzgerald, Luciano, Schmidt, because you're going to play Chapman. Okay, fine. And then let's see what these guys can do. You got 12 games left. And don't tell me you're playing for something. You're not playing for Jack.
And
You're
you should have done it at home so they feel a little more comfortable. You know, they went 1-5 on the 6-game homestand. So with the veterans and the main people. Why didn't you play the young? It's a lot easier when you're at home. You're familiar with the surroundings. Now you're going to go to Baltimore, which is crazy right now, and you're going to go to Kansas City. That's going to be crazy. Then
they're losing
to Arizona, where they're going for their lives. It's not fair to the young guys at all.
They're going 2-7 on this trip, maybe 1-8. I'm hopeful that they go 1-8 or 2-7. Give me 2 Blake Snell wins. I need it for my fantasy team. That's what I need right now. I'm more concerned about my fantasy team right now.
Understandable.
It's a wild, wild race, by the way. This fantasy league turned into a 7-team. Anybody could win it. It's right now 7 teams.
There you go. And then Dan, most of the chat last night and today, they want to know: are you going to go see the Giants when they play Arizona?
I was planning on it, but I don't know now because they're going to be mathematically eliminated. And if I go, I'll just be, I don't know. I root for the players because I want to see them do well, the young guys, but I want to see them lose. And guys, it's not that I hate the Giants and I want to see them lose. I can't stand Farhan any longer. And it's got to get to the point.
He's ruined the vibe.
Yeah, he's ruined the vibe completely. If I'm a 56-year-old fan. I'm 63. I've been a fan since I was 7, since 1968. I should not be rooting for a team that I grew up loving to lose. The man destroyed my joy of the team. And I keep putting this question up and it keeps popping away and I can't remember what the question is. Where the heck? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to answer this question instant one. Dan, we understand the problems. Yes. What are your proposed solutions for next once Farhan is fired? Teoscar, Soto, new batting coach? If so, who? Okay. I don't know who they should get as a batting coach, but I will tell you this. I would like to see, personally, I would love to see Ned Coletti come on, or Brian Sabian, because I know they love the Giants. They both were very successful. I'm not so sure if Brian, if that bridge got burnt or not. It's possible, but I think if they, made amends with new person in charge running the team, Buster Posey, I think Buster can make those amends. Okay. So I'm hiring either Ned Coletti or Brian Sabian, or I'll bring them both back and do what they did in 97 for us. Because you know what those two guys are? They're winners, and they can actually train the next person and pass the torch to somebody who is of their ilk. Okay. They're relentless, tireless workers. They are no pushovers. Neither one of them will get pushed around by any agent. They're aggressive and they know the game. Okay. That's the first thing. There's another guy that I like, and he is, let me pull up his name one moment here. Let me pull up his name here. Hold on one second here.
Are you looking for that guy who would bring the spark, like Robert Roth?
No, there's a guy in Tampa. He's Tampa Bay. His name is help me out. Does anybody know the guy?
Yeah, he's the assistant guy.
Los brought him up to me, and I can't remember his name. He's an assistant with the Tampa Bay.
What about that girl that they I think is so amazing too?
Kim Ning.
Yeah.
You know what? So that's what I would do. And then I would go after players. I think Teoscar Hernandez is trying to sign long-term with the Dodgers. I think that's his goal. I think you're going to have a hard time getting him away from the Dodgers. I would go after maybe an Anthony Santander. I want Willie Adames as my shortstop. Tyler Fitzgerald is not a shortstop, not an everyday shortstop. I would move him to second base. Okay. I would actually, if you can go get a second baseman, I would use Tyler Fitzgerald as a super utility guy. If I can get me Santander or Teoscar, I don't think you're going to get Juan Soto. I would take a shot at him, but I wouldn't get caught up with Juan Soto and flirting with him till the very end, where it's down to a decision between, 2 or 3 teams, and we're going to get the bridesmaid treatment again. What I would do if I were running the team, I would go after Juan Soto with a most ridiculous offer that I know is much higher than the going rate, what you are going to, because you're going to hear what the rates are. You're going to hear, it's going to get talked about. You're going to hear from agents. And I would just say, look, here's our offer. It's as good of an offer. It is the best offer you're going to get. If you can beat it, go for it. We're not changing. And here's our offer. Let's say November 4th, that free agency opens right after the World Series, November 4th. Here's the offer. We're not going to publicize this. We're going to keep it quiet. Our offer comes off the table November 15th. We're not going to negotiate. We don't want a public display of we got the bridesmaid treatment again. So here's our offer. We're going 10 years or 12 years, whatever you want to do, and you make it 650, 600, 650, $60 million a year for 10 years, 12 years. Go 12. Even though the guy's, he's supposedly 25, but I really think
he's 29.
I really think Juan Soto's 28 or 29, because I look at him. He's from the Dominican Republic. He looks older. You can't tell me he's 19. He came on the scene at 19 and tore up the league. I don't think so. But I don't think he's coming. Okay? So that's why I'm not spending time waiting for him to make a decision. I say, boom, here it is. Take it or leave it. You got till this date, and whether you want to give them 10 days or a week or 72 hours, let them go shop it, because we're moving on with a new plan. We're not waiting on Juan Soto. We're going to be aggressive, and we're going to go get our guys. And then I go sign a couple of pitchers. I sign a couple of starting pitchers at least, whether that's Max Fried or it's somebody along that lines to replace Blake Snell, or I'm going after the mid-level guys, 3 and 4. I'm building depth. I want 6 minimum starting pitchers. Okay? And 3 of them are Webb, Birdsong, and Harrison. That's 3. And I guess the 4th is Robbie Ray. So now get me at least 2, preferably 3. I prefer to go into the season with 7 starting pitchers. Look at the Dodgers this year. They got 7 starting pitchers right now on IL. 3 are done for the year. Okay? You cannot have enough pitching. And you can see that with the Giants. They are just, the Giants might have put, they ought to just put an ad in the Chronicle, in the help wanted section. Pitchers wanted. Any live arm, come try out, because they certainly have no arms. And you know what? One of my starting pitchers who it's not Jordan Hicks. I'll repeat that again. Jordan Hicks is not one of the starters. He's one of my bullpen guys. He's my setup guy to Ryan Walker. I've got, I'm going to say your job is the 8th inning, and you go out and put a hold on the game, and we'll let Walker close it. Okay. and then I'm setting up my bullpen with solid people, and that's the start. And I'm getting new hitting coaches. Okay, I'm not bringing back guys that can't teach guys how to make contact with runners in scoring position. And Duvall, he's going to have to earn my trust. And if he's not head on straight and engaged, and he's not performing, I either try and trade him or I just release him, because I'm not going to put up with another year of up and down. Robert says, Dan, it's not as simple as you think. Well, Robert, I thought this was the greatest team on earth.
The greatest pitching staff.
It's not as simple as you think. Now, Robert, you're contradicting yourself. You just said this Giants team is not far away and that they were going to win out, all these things. And now I've come up with some solutions, and you say it's not as simple as you think. You got to be consistent, Robert. It's either this team is close or it's so far away that it's not as simple as you think, and there's nothing you can do to fix it. I think you can fix it. I think you need the right person to fix it. And with that, I've got to make a quick phone call. So, Lew, I'm going to let you take over.
I'm going to talk about how you guys all think we can get Soto. I just want to go over something. The last 4 best free agents, the truth about what the Giants did. We'll start with Stanton of the New York Yankees. When he winded up, the Giants were in the bidding. It was against 2 other teams. The Giants were the low ballers. They were never the high. Stanton never wanted to play here. They never were the high bid. Bryce Harper. It was us against 2 other teams. The Giants got outbid by $12 million on the deal, and they wouldn't go up. When Bryce Harper wanted to play here, which was a major loss, they wouldn't put the more money in. It cost them. So then let's go to the last 2. Aaron Judge was never going to be coming here, guys. The Giants the whole time said Aaron Judge is coming here. He's from the area. He went to school in Fresno. All lies. If you guys remember the reporting, they said he was here meeting with the Giants on a Monday. It was a lie. He was here for Thanksgiving to go to his parents, and the airport, SFO, was the only one he could get to from New York. So don't believe any of these guys at all. Okay? Well, yeah, Stanton wanted to come here to a trade, but then they also had a free agency. Regardless, he didn't want to be here. Let's get to the Ohtani. He was never, ever coming here. If you listen to the Giants and Farhan, the biggest bum, Farhan, Mr. A.K.A. Pinocchio, they said they matched the Dodgers' exact contract, where literally they were only going to do $2 million up front. That's what the Dodgers are paying him this year, $2 million. And everything was backloaded. Do you really think Farhan could have thought up a contract like this to help the team? No. Second of all, why would Ohtani want to come here? Who would have helped him out? Who would have hit in front of Ohtani and behind? That's the biggest problem with the Giants. You have Farhan Farhan is sort of like a guy when you're a teenager, you're going to tell girls what they want to hear. That's what Farhan does. When he gets up, he tells you what you want to hear, and then he gets away with it. The problem is when you have all these homers like Susan Slusser, Alex, Comcast Bay Area, and KMBR, they never say, Farhan, you keep saying this. Oh, we have the greatest pitching staff. What happened? They never, ever ask him the tough questions at all. Never. It's gotten to the point now where, I don't believe a word Farhan says. How can you? And trust me, the Soto thing will happen because you know what? The Giants have to keep the Giants in the news. Oh, yeah, we're talking to Soto. You ask Dan, his biggest problem with Farhan is Farhan always waits till the very, very, very last second. Trade deadline, it's got to be an hour before. He never tries to trade early. when he negotiates. He never, ever goes early. He always waits. So whatever they say, oh, we're after Soto or something, it's all lies. All lies. I don't know if it's the front office that makes him say this, but don't believe a word he says. I have not read Baggerly's new thing. First of all, I think Baggerly is one of the biggest homers, but I'll read it when Dan gets back on, and I'll see. But, it's gotten to the point now where how can you believe any of these guys? And the other thing about Buster Posey, that's what I think. Of course, this is Bags. They're using Buster's name. Have you guys ever heard an interview, except the one when they signed Chapman on the golf course, where Buster actually gets on and says, listen, the Giants need to do this. They need to do that. Where maybe he can be a little negative about the Giants. You remember, he's an owner, so he can speak his mind. He never, ever does. I think he is such a small ownership. The name is worth more, but he cannot make decisions. He doesn't own that much. I don't think Farhan ever talks to him. I don't think he says, hey, what do you think we should do about Chapman? Because if they would have asked him about Chapman, he would have said 6 years is too long. When he played, he went through it. He saw what Zito was on his 6-year contract. Zito won us a championship. Farhan's not going to win us a championship. Chapman's not going to win us a championship. I don't think Posey's doing anything. They're just using his name so the Giants look good. The Giants have 3 more home games against St. Louis. They're already asking us for money for next year's team. Why? Because it's a desperate team, and they won't admit they made a mistake. And the first thing you got to say, Larry Bear's got to get up, and they got to say one thing. Farhan was great. We get enough time. We need to move forward. But they're not. The Giants have no guts at all. It's sort of ridiculous. Farhan is one of those guys where he'll speak like in high school. God, that girl was good looking. Well, Farhan, do something. Nah, I'm not sure. And then by the end of the night, he might get enough guts, and then he chooses someone who he doesn't want her to go home alone. Some wimp. That's what Farhan is. He's got a horrible laugh. He can't do anything. And you guys got to remember, Farhan's thing, and this is what doesn't make this sort of strange about the Crapman deal. He says he will not sign anybody over 3 years without an opt-out. Well, we just signed Crapman for 6 years. There is no opt-out. It's a guaranteed contract. It makes no sense. Desperate people do desperate things. And we've been saying this all year. The Giants, now this is, I got this from Def Leppard concert 2 years ago. The Giants are in such drastic need, that they only had 25,000 at the Def Leppard Journey show 2 weeks ago. Place holds 42. They have Green Day this week. I believe it's Tuesday or Wednesday. They haven't even sold 15,000 tickets for the concert. So they're losing there. The Giants are losing every which way but loose. It's gotten to the point now where, and I think Dan brings this up. You used to be excited. You used to be super fired up for Giant games. It's not a priority at all, especially in San Francisco. It's a boring team. I mean, except for maybe 1 or 2 games this year, we never had the it game. Something that would really bring new Giants fans in. And today, here's another great example about the Giants. You have a huge ceremony, 2 ceremonies really. And of course they want Farhan fired. Huge ceremony, just like when Willie Mays died and the Giants laid an egg. Giants were lucky. They only had 1 run going to the 9th inning. It's kind of the point. It's bad. And here's the other problem. And this is what me and Dan are going to have to go over. We need to know what guys have contracts 100% guaranteed for next year. Because I know we want to get rid of people, but if they have a contract for next year, like a player's option or something, we're stuck with them. That's one of the problems. And I keep using that phrase, get rid of dead weight. You guys look, We went over the 40-man roster the other day. There's probably 18 that we don't need. And why am I so upset like guys at Yaz? Guys, we've had Yaz for 7 years or 6 years. No, 7 years. Way too long. He's not a winner. He is a fourth good outfielder. The other thing is he's making, I think, $10.2 million this year. And with arbitration, do you think he's worth $12 million? No. It's gotten to the point now where it's out of control. The other thing is we keep talking about the attendance. And I saw somebody brought that up. If you would have watched the game today, after the celebration, and you looked in the crowd was 40% Padre fans. You also heard the chat, the cheers. Let's go, Padres. You know, that never used to happen. There is nothing that this team gets you excited about. You know, yeah, if Yaz is not coming back because he's not a guaranteed contract yet. But why do people think Yaz is so great? Why are there so many jerseys out there? I mean, here, let me just see something. What is his stats this year? And you guys tell me another year for him is going to improve our team. You guys, and either way, he still is at the streak. I think he went below 30% of his at-bats are strikeouts. 30% of his bats are strikeouts. I'll point that out. But I'm going to just bring up, for people that think I'm nuts, let's see, because I know against Crapman, we're up against him a lot. But I'm going to bring up Yaz, and let's just see his great stats. And you guys tell me why he is so great. Now, defensively is fine, but when you have the worst defensive team in the National League, it doesn't matter. But let's just see. All right. These are his stats this year. And he has started a lot more. Batted .234, 127 strikeouts, 15 homers, and 50 RBIs. 50 RBIs. Are you kidding me? That's not a starter. He's a starter for us because we stink. We have nothing. And you guys want to see crowds? Wait till you see when we go to Baltimore, how crazy that place is. Yeah, Yaz is K. It's 22.3. At one time, he was 33. You know, and who cares if his grandfather was a great Hall of Famer? There goes the Giants again. Oh, because his second cousin is used to be a player that used to play for the Giants. Oh, okay. You know, Dan brings up his brother. You know, do you think the 49ers are going to pick a guy just because he's a friend? He was friends with Dan's brother who played for Cal 25 years ago? Get rid of this. This team can't hit. If you guys remember last year, they led the league in strikeouts. They can't put the ball in play. We are still the worst in runners in scoring position. You know, we need offense on this team. Forget about defense. We have nobody can really go and improve this team on what we have. You know, and again, we're going to talk about, you know, our pitching staff. You know, right now, we're not sure about next year. We have young guys, but you remember, when you're new on the presence, you always have streaks. Like Fitzgerald. You remember Fitzgerald had 17 homers and it seemed like 29 games? But of course, then he gets injured. Then the team sees what happens and they adapt to him. You know, I think it's, Flores. I don't want Flores back. I know there's a team option, but why would I want him? It is against his time. Okay. They have to move on. I mean, you got to remember last year, horrible year, led the team in strikeouts. This year, we're third overall in strikeouts, but this team cannot hit in the clutch. And when you can't hit in the clutch, you're useless. Useless. I mean, how many times you guys see it? Giants first and third, nobody out. Can't even get a run in. Are you guys aware that today, in the last 6 games that went extra innings, this is the first time we actually scored? How about that? 6 extra inning games, and we've scored 1 time. And of course, it was a nice 1 run. But who cares? You know, we lost. That's what it's all about. You know, so one of those things. And, the other thing is about Farhan is just look who he picked up this year. Ahmed, out of baseball. Okay. Solar, traded, Atlanta. Lee, survived, 5 weeks? Done for the year. Who else did they sign? Robbie Ray, cuts through the trade, right? That's another pickup. He's 2-6 on the DL rest of the year. Snell, who they picked up late, had a great month. God, he was ML pitcher of the month. Snell was great, but you know what? He's going to be gone. Plus, why would Snell want to come back here? I'm so sick of all these homers saying, oh, Snell likes Oracle Park and he wants to be here. These guys don't care about money. It's all about getting the ring. Why you never ever go on a team if you know there's no hope? And you can see the Giants, there's no hope. In our division, we're going to finish 4th again next year. So, the problem is Farhan thinks about the past. He's got to look into the future. Stop hiring people that were good 7 years ago. Stop getting people off injuries. Stop getting people, he had a Tommy John. It's bullshit. I'm sick of it. He comes up with every excuse, and the other problem is nobody like Larry Bear gets up and says, yeah, you know what? You're correct. You're correct. You're correct. We made a mistake. We shouldn't have got him. So it's just, one of those things where the Giants, they're in big trouble. And you got to remember, guys, here's the last thing I'll say, is teams that are close right now, like I would say a young team like Detroit, maybe Kansas City, who's going to make the playoffs this year. Atlanta, if they can get healthy next year. They're all going to be also trying to get Soto and these other key free agents. And they're also going to try to improve the team. The problem with the Giants is we don't really have anybody in the farm system or anyone that we can really trade to get better. So we are then going to have another year of mediocre. It's horrible. Lew, stop babysitting. It's annoying. I like that. That's how I feel with the Giants, And the other thing is the Giants, today, another boring effort. God. But I don't think Farhan's gone unless the Giants can maybe go 3-9 in the last 12 games. If you can get that horrible smell or feeling in that mouth, maybe the Giants will do something. But, it's gotten to the point now where who knows who's in charge of the Giants? We really don't know. We know it's not Larry Bear. The big owners might say something, but God, it's been bad for a while, guys. And here's the thing. A couple guys in the chat said, Lew, I had to pay for my Giants tickets. Why would you get tickets if you feel like this? Well, I have the best seats in the house. So it's going to be, it's for different generations, my nieces, nephews, when they grow up. But the average person is not going to go to the Giants and get season tickets for 2 reasons. Giants, the last couple of years, are down so much on season ticket holders. What they do is they have a sale in December, like a Christmas sale, and then they have that sale probably right when opening day starts, the 501 sale, 50 this, 50 that, okay? And then this past month, the Giants were so desperate that I think Chapman finally didn't strike out in 10 straight games. They had tickets for $10. The tickets regularly are $65. They were offered $10. And if you notice, most of the Giant games this year, bleachers were always packed. I give them that. But the rest of the ballpark, remember, it's tickets sold, not people that went through the gate. And it's got to the point now where, the Giants have gotten so bad where they've screwed over season ticket holders. They have announcers that were negative the whole year. It's gotten to the point now where, who is that? Yeah, I know Snell's wife is in Seattle. Seattle's right on the brink, right? Why wouldn't he want to go where, if his wife's from Seattle, go up there? You know why? They also have the money, they have better coaches, and they're young. All right, let's see. Turd Ferguson has a good one. Lou, I agree about the money versus the ring argument. What makes Snell choosing the Giants over the Yankees last season even more of a head scratcher? Well, you got to remember, nobody wanted Snell because it was so much money after his Cy Young. And out of desperation, the Giants went after Kratman and Snell. If you remember when the signings happened, it was literally almost the first, I think it was like 1 week left into the season of spring training. So, that was why Giants realized they could spend money. They were desperate. They obviously knew, hey, we're not going to have Ray. They maybe said, okay, all we really have is Webb. And you also got to get a veteran to help the young guys. Harrison needs all the help from veterans. Okay. Black, all these guys, you need a veteran. But here's something. I'm just going by that. Lou, if Flores was so hurt, why was he playing? Tired and hearing, well, these people were played hurt. I don't want to hear anything. It's all a bunch of BS. You know that? Flores was hurt. Come on. He's been hurt all season. I don't believe any of these guy things. I think a lot of this stuff is just made up to basically please the season ticket holder and if people are watching it. Yankees reps say they never offered $150 million to Snell. I agree. Never. Yamamoto, $350. That was different. Maybe pitching's a little bit different. But Snell, you got to remember, guys, Snell, yeah, he won the Cy Young, but the year before he was mediocre. Then the year before that, he won the Cy Young. So we sort of in every other one. And because of who represents him, you don't get him cheap. You can't go like, I'll give you a 3-year deal and say $90 million. No. The Giants did a deal that, of course, the Farhan special, that will give you $32.9 million. You have a player option, or you can opt out if you want to be a free agent next year. Well, George, you're saying Snell stays. Why don't we do this? We'll make a little wager, $20. I bet you he does not stay with the Giants. Seattle has money, trust me. You got to remember, their starters right now, they don't really pay him that much. There's going to be no WAR, nothing. And again, pitching's a lot different than a bat. If you look right now, Seattle did sort of the Giants thing. They went after pitching, except for, I think, Ariza, who they picked up during the trade. They thought they could do the the American League West with pitching, and it failed. But, I think Snell's a great guy. But after this year, the player of the month, where people see him, this is a showcase. Tuesday night will be a showcase showing Snell against Baltimore. And if he can maybe come back and get 10 strikeouts, say in 5 and 6 innings, the Giants keep it close, he's not coming back. His agent won't let him come back. The only way the Giants get him is they're going to have to sign a 6-year deal for Snell. And they're not going to do that. Trust me. They're not going to say 6 years. The rumor was 6-year deal at $35 million a year, $210 million. The Giants aren't spending that on a pitcher. It's difference between a position player and a pitcher. The last time the Giants spent this much money on a pitcher was Zito, 6 years. And the Giants aren't going to do it. So, George, you want to make a wager? I don't think he'll be back. No problem. Why don't we do like $20 and the loser gives it and the other person's name for charity? No problem. Joe Schmo, Snell, 33 per for 4? He made 32.9 this year. Why would he only make another 100,000 for 4 years? No. Snell's probably going to be 35, maybe 34. You guys got to remember, the market hasn't been set how high they will pay a pitcher. Yamamoto, yeah, he was big, but there were other free agents. What's going to happen with Snell? This is what's going to happen. You have other pitchers that are going to renegotiate their contract, and they're going to say, hey, we'll offer you 3 years, $100 million. Now you have a ceiling. You know how much the average ace is going to cost. We don't know how much an ace is, Yeah, Giants guarantee. This is another thing. Vespa brings it up. Giants guaranteed Snell a $17 million signing bonus. So even if he walks, the Giants still have to sign a $17 million bonus to him. What the hell is that? So.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back, Dan.
Thank you. All right, guys. So where are we at? What's been?
Well, we talked about the recent big free agents the Giants tried to go and all the BS they talk about. Like Ohtani, the Giants are never getting Ohtani, and how the Giants bullshitted that they actually had the exact same contract. How could Farhan think, hey, we'll pay you $2 million this year and we'll backload everything like the Dodgers did? That's what happens when you have a good GM. The Giants didn't come up with the same offer. That's what I was trying to explain to the chat, right?
Okay. And Robert says I took his comment out of context. Sorry, Robert. Sorry about that. Did we get to the super chat earlier? I think we did.
Which one?
I think we did because I see it's not up there. This one here, did we cover that one?
No, we have not.
Yeah, Vespa 5. Are they really going to try and make Hicks a starter again next year? His arm and Harrison started falling apart. I don't know. I'll just say this, guys. I trust me. Just trust me on this. This organization really has no clue. I've watched baseball long enough. They really have no clue what they're doing. And if you think that Farhan has any idea or plan to get them out of this, you're fooling yourself. Melvin cannot do it by himself. And he is stuck with a system that is dictated to him. And yes, he can make the decision, but have you ever been around a boss that says, "Oh, you're free to make, you do what you think's best, but down deep, if you don't do what they say, you're in trouble"? That's what's going on. Okay. And look, Melvin's managed very passively against his nature. You don't think Bob Melvin can run laps around Farhan Zaidi? Farhan Zaidi is a banking geek. He's an analytics-driven geek, okay? He does not know the game of baseball. He brings the game of baseball down to matchups and taking opportunities to try and get the slightest edge. That's why you see a guy like Donovan Walton come up and be in the game, because it's a matchup. He has no clue how to run baseball. And you know what? If he's back next year, you can't even really blame Farhan anymore, guys. I'm telling you that if this I do not think this ownership cares. I really don't believe they care. And that's why I tell you, stop going to the games, walking up to the ticket booth and buying a $5 ticket, because you're playing right into the ownership's hands. They could give a crap if the team loses until they get hurt at the gate. And once they get hurt at the gate, they will make changes. But as long as they look, guys, they won 3 World Series, and they can live off that for 15 years. And it's only been 10 since they won their last. So the next 3 to 5 years, they own 4th place right there. Okay? Have they not had the Colorado Rockies in the division, they would be competing for 5th place. Guys, this is...
And the old NL West, look where they'd be in the old NL West.
Oh, they would have Cincinnati, who's ahead of them now, and Atlanta, and Houston.
Yep.
And Arizona wouldn't be in there, and Colorado wouldn't be in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Guys, I hate to sound like a broken record. Trust me. If you don't believe anything I say, just look at my track record, what I've said about this team for the last 2.5 years. Okay.
And then, Dan, you see Ben Bam Boom? You see, that was what we talked about last week. Do you see it?
Fourth place is a lock under Farhan, this one?
No. He has another one talking about what Farhan said. Yeah. That's all you need to talk about. He said this on radio, and he was quoted.
Okay. Look, Farhan said we were going to go youth earlier, right?
Yeah.
And then he says we're going to go youth with pitching. Now, look, Farhan doesn't have a direction. I'm telling you.
Perfect indication.
He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. You know, guys, if you really want to know, somebody asked me what should they do, and I told you who they should hire. And this is me speaking. I don't know if Brian's still in the game. I don't know if Ned, I don't know what Ned would do, but I believe Ned would be fired up if the Giants came to him. But look at Ned and Brian's track record. From 1997 to 2024, it's pretty much the Giants and Dodgers. The majority have owned the National League West. Okay. 97, the Giants won 8 straight years. From 05 to 08, they had 4 losing seasons. And then 09 to 16 to 06. From 09 to 16, they won every year except 2013. They were under 500. If you want to know what I would campaign, if I had a bigger voice, if I had a bigger megaphone that got the word out, and if I was the owner of the Giants and had to say so, this is why I would like to get to Buster Posey. I would hire Ned Colletti and Brian Sabian together. And it doesn't have to be.
Remember, they were together.
Look, they could come back with a 2-year deal, and they could train everybody. Brian Sabian does not have the energy, and he's a consultant. Ned has been out of baseball too long. He loves his teaching, traveling, and not having the stresses of working 8 hours, says George Curry. Okay, George, I'll respectfully just disagree with you there. I will say that, like I said, I have no idea. I know Ned has the passion. He still works for the Sharks. He travels all the time. He teaches at Pepperdine. You don't think the guy has energy to travel? The guy is, if he was focused on the Giants, him and Brian together, I'm telling you what, this is my plan. They could put together a tremendous staff. Brian knows the best people of player development. They could bring in player development. They could train the next staff. And in 3 years, they would turn the team around. Who is Farhan training right now? Pete Petulia? Come on, give me a break. Come on. Who is Farhan training to take over? Look, Pete Petulia. I've met the guy, okay? I've met him. Talked to him at the baseball winter meetings. I have nothing personal against Pete Petulia. He seems like a really nice guy, but he doesn't have the A-type. He's very soft, okay? Very quiet, very analytical-minded guy, a backroom guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's his personality. Got it? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's who he is. And that's how he's wired. Okay, he's wired. He's probably really good at what he does behind the scenes, but he's not the lead guy, okay? So and Farhan's not either. Look, have you seen Farhan talk? The guy has zero confidence when he speaks. That's why the nervous laughter. Look, guys, anytime someone laughs or cackles, we know what cackling's like, right? When someone cackles or laughs because they're nervous, it's because they're not confident in what they're saying. So, look, guys, I don't know what to tell you other than if Buster Posey doesn't get his way and take over, and you know what? He took over the negotiations, right? It sounds like from the Baggerly deal.
Yeah, I think that's another lie.
I think he did, but you know what that means? He got the deal done, but Boris took him to the cleaners.
Yeah, why 6 years?
Because
do you remember Farhan said he would never sign a pitcher more than 3 years, ever.
Yeah.
So now you're going to sign a 32-year-old guy a 6-year deal that can't hit in the clutch?
Look, owners do not negotiate like general managers, okay? You think Brian Sabian would have given Boris a 6-year deal? I mean, Boris and Chapman? No, at 32? Come on.
Especially look at Kratman's last 3 years when he played with Toronto.
Yeah. Look.
That's all you need to see.
Buster is not a negotiator. He knew he wanted Chapman around. And
who else do we have?
And Boris took him to the cleaners. Okay? That's it. Period. It was not it is not a good. That's why owners get involved. You're going to overpay. Bryce Harper, anytime an owner gets involved and takes over the negotiations, you're going to overpay for the guy. And you don't think agents know that? So
Dan, you remember when him and what's the name for San Diego signed 10-year deals? It was $300 million. $300 million. Now those deals are great deals.
Yeah.
$30 million a year.
Judge signed for $360.
But listen, the Giants could have had what's the name from Philly, right? Harper. So you're telling me the Giants are willing to couldn't get Harper for $30 million a year, but they paid Kratman $25? I mean, that's what doesn't make sense. And again, age, big difference in age. And they're winners. Kratman's never been a winner anywhere. Tell me where he's been a winner. He was with the A's where they had a good team and they made the playoffs. They never got a ring. It's frustrating.
George says Ned did not say Chapman deal was bad. He said, do the Giants have a player equal or greater than Chapman? That's all he. No, I'm not saying anything what Ned said about the deal or not. I'm saying for me that if Buster took over the negotiations, he got taken for the 6 years. That's all. Look, what Ned said about Chapman was
do you have someone that can replace him that's either equal
or
don't. Greater?
They don't. And so Boris had him by the, had him over the fire. I mean, Chapman is, again, they don't have the pieces around Chapman. Chapman is an add-on. He's not the
face
to build around.
The key hitter.
He's a piece of the puzzle when you already have many pieces in place. And now you're going to build around him. Okay, you just gave him $25 million a year.
Guaranteed 6 years. Not an opt-out, 6 years.
No trade option. According to the article of Baggerly, that was the hang-up. Farhan would not give the no trade option, which frankly is smart on Farhan's part. No GM wants to get tied up with a guy that's declining. You might give a no trade guy to a guy who's in his prime, like a Bryce Harper, and when the time comes when he's washed, Yeah, you work it out, and he probably wants a trade too at some point. Guys that are on a crappy team and they're getting older, you think they enjoy that? You think they enjoy losing year after year, 90 plus games? No. Why do you think Mike Trout is going to eventually ask for a trade? He's okay. I bet you Mike Trout's already to the point. If if the Phillies came and if they came and say, "Hey, the Phillies, we have a deal in place with the Phillies. Will you accept the trade?" He'd be like, "Heck yeah,
Yep.
I'm going home."
And then Dan, something that maybe we haven't spoken about enough. Do you see Marcos Tanner's thing at 10:09?
10:09. Let me look.
Or should I read it out loud?
I can pull it up here.
10:09. There you go.
All right. Oh yeah, said that many times. If Farhan, if 20, that's why I said you've heard me say it before. I think 20,
a couple years, guaranteed.
I think 21 was the worst thing that happened to the Giants because it was fool's gold. And yeah, Robert said he just went to 2 games this weekend. Very hard to watch this team. It's very hard. It's very hard. You know, you go out to watch good baseball. You're not seeing good baseball with the Giants at all. What's sad is the baseball world never got to see Trout in his prime on a contending team. That's long gone. That's truly sad. It is. Mike Trout was at one point being compared with Willie Mays. And justifiably.
That's why this year with the Dodgers in the playoffs and Ohtani, trust me, MLB, if they want to get their ratings up and have the best thing, Dodgers against the Yankees would be the biggest World Series in probably 20, maybe 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
They actually get ratings, and you have superstars. You have East Coast, West Coast.
Yep. I think that'd be the best for baseball. It's a World Series that I personally want to see.
Yep.
I as a baseball fan, I'm not as a Giants fan. Of course, I don't want to see the Dodgers win. But if I'm going to watch the World Series, I want to see the best. I want to see the stars show up, you know, and the Dodgers and Yankees have stars. They have 5 stars between Judge and Soto and Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman that are all Hall of Fame bound.
Yep.
Okay. And that would be fun to watch. I picked the Orioles and the Phillies in our preseason. But I said afterwards but I did pick the Yankees to make the playoffs. But I would say a month into the season, maybe 2 months, I can't remember when, I said, I think it might be Yankees, Dodgers, the way I'm seeing it. But the Dodgers are going to have a hard time because their pitching is horrible.
Their bullpen, that's the problem. That's why San Diego has the advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think San Diego can go toe-to-toe with them and close to with the bat too. Because
and if you remember the thing about the Giants in 2010, 12, and 14, they made contact. They had guys that actually got hot, but it was really about the bullpens and the stopper. 2010, 12, and 14, that's how the Giants got through it. If you look, when we beat Philly, where Philly had the best record, it was all about our bullpen. All about it. You know, we got key hits, but without our bullpen, we do nothing. And that's the problem with the Dodgers, you know? So you get to these points where, remember, a lot of these teams at the trade deadline, you have 2 things. You want to get hot to go in the playoffs, and you want to have a team that can actually win you a series in the playoffs. You know, something that the Giants and Farhan don't think about. You know, if you guys remember, and again, we talk about Farhan being bad. This is not a new game. It's going to be, last year was horrible. And then 3 years ago, we had a chance to actually make trades at the trade deadline to improve our team for like Rodon, who we knew wasn't coming back. And the worst thing happened, the Giants went 6-2 before there. And he goes, oh, I think we have hope. Yeah. Giants have never had hope.
Never.
And Farhan, you know, with the old Pinocchio.
Right.
And the other thing, too, is, remember, guys, the Giants, with this extra wild card, still have never made the wild card spot. The one year they won it, they won the division. So Major League saying, Giants, we're going to do you a favor. we're going to add another spot for you. And of course, we can't even get there.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, you're hearing it here first. Maybe you heard it somewhere else, but I thought of this a while ago. I've never mentioned it, but you know who you might see pitch in a critical moment in the playoffs? Right there, guys. You may see Ohtani pitch. It's not out of the realm that if it's a close situation, you need one inning to either maybe get to the World Series or whatever it is. Don't be surprised if Shohei Ohtani comes out to pitch and get 2-3 outs in a critical game. Would not be shocked. Yeah, BC, he closed like the WBC final. He is pitching in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, he's getting ready. And that's the other thing we're not talking about next year. The Dodgers are already another level above us because the Dodgers are going to have better pitching than us just with Ohtani. You know, how exciting is it going to be? You're going to be able to see Ohtani pitch against the Giants, shut us out, and then probably hit 2 or 3 homers against the Giants.
Shota says Ohtani signed a 10-year contract and you put him in the highest situation for any rehab assignment. That is insane. Look, he's pitching in the bullpen, Shota. He's throwing.
They got to get the ring. If the Dodgers don't win the World Series, it's a lost year.
Right. If his arm is ready to pitch and he pitches some simulated situations as they get closer to the season ending, look, the Dodgers are probably going to finish 1 or 2, and they're going to have a bye. Don't be surprised during that week, that bye, that they have Shohei pitch an inning of simulated. Look, he's already throwing. The arm, he's throwing off the bullpen. He's throwing off the mound right now in bullpen sessions. And they're ramping him up. I don't think it'll happen. Dave Roberts says it's not likely, but he said it's not impossible. Okay? It's not impossible that he doesn't pitch. Just saying, a guy like Shohei, if the game is on the line,
he'll do whatever it takes.
And he goes through his interpreter up to Dave Roberts, says, I want the ball. You know, I don't know if
when did he have his, Tommy John? And when did our great
last year?
When did Ray have his?
Ray had his on May 1st of 23.
Okay.
And he pitched basically 14 months later in July. In fact, he was already doing games. He was already pitching in rehab games. Bub Rad says, what? Who cares? I could care less about Ohtani. Well, we're talking baseball. This is if you want to just talk Giants baseball, Bub Rad, we're going to be talking here. It's 2024. We're going to be talking until 2028, 29 before the Giants have any, what's the word, Lou, that they're relevant? The Giants are irrelevant. They're totally irrelevant. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm gonna stand on this. I've said it on this show, and I'm gonna preach it until the cows come home. I would have traded Logan Webb at the trade deadline, and I would consider trade him this offseason. You know why? The Giants are so far away, guys. So far away.
And you still have him under contract under great terms for a couple more years.
And you are going, by the time the Giants get good with this ownership group running it, if they don't bring in competent people who've had success, you are going to see Logan Webb start to fade the back end of his career and you got nothing to show for it. Okay? It's like Mike Trout situation at the Angels. Okay. Mike Trout, they've waited too long. Right now, Webb has high value. And you could get something for Logan Webb and start to rebuild. But think about this, guys. Think about this. You say that the Giants, how close are the Giants to competing? Who's their top prospects? Forget Bryce Eldridge. I know Bryce Eldridge. Who's their top prospects? Who's it been?
They're already up.
It's Luciano and Matos and Bailey and Schmidt and who are the touted guys?
Ramos.
Ramos. Okay, look, guys, they don't have it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Luciano has it. It doesn't look like Matos fully has it. And if they can't hit, they're over their head at the major league level. What does that say about the rest of the minors if that's their top?
Yep.
What does that say about the guys behind them? I'm telling you, this team is toast.
Yeah. And Dan, what I thought in the next couple of weeks before the playoff starts, where we won't have to talk about the Giants, I'd love to go over the salaries that are guaranteed for next year, players' options for next year, so we actually see what we have.
We can do that. Let me pull that up. But George, I'm not comparing Trout to Webb today. I'm comparing Trout when he was at his top value and they got nothing out of it as far as playoff run.
Same with Ohtani.
Yeah. They didn't make the playoffs during Mike. You had two of the greatest players in the game
offensively
on the same team, and they couldn't make the playoffs.
They weren't even 500.
My point is that Webb is valuable right now, and it's not helping this team. Rebuild it. You've got to rebuild it because you cannot sign top stars that come in here. And so what are you going to do? You haven't developed any top stars. Maybe Bryce Eldridge is that. It looks like it's going to be, but that's still not a guarantee. So why not go get stars that are in the game or that are, look, I would be fine just going and getting Jackson Holiday and start to build around him. I'd rather have a guy that's a star as an everyday player than a pitcher. And look, Logan Webb, guys, if you really want to look at the facts, Logan Webb does not go out there and shut people down on a regular basis. He's pitched some key games where the Giants needed him to show up, and he got shelled. He is not the
Giants have a losing record when he starts.
Yeah, he's not Zach Wheeler. He's not I don't even know who the star pitchers are really this year because Corbin Burns has kind of not done, he's not been lights out, and Garrett Cole's getting shelled. Yes, Aaron. Aaron says, where are those 200 innings going to come from? Where did it go? I just saw it. Where did it go? Oh, there it went. It hid. Hold on. Wow, the chat moved on me. Hold on, my cursor.
10:25.
It was just down there. Okay. Webb is such a team-friendly deal, basically peanuts in today's money, that's why you can get a lot for him, Aaron, because he has a team-friendly deal, and teams that trade for him would be willing to give up a king's ransom because they're getting a solid number 2 pitcher who eats up innings for them and is on a good team. See, Logan Webb and Matt Chapman are wasted on a crappy team. The Giants are terrible, guys. They're not even good, close to good. Their record is 72-78, and they're going to finish probably 10 games under 500. They're going to be a 76-86 team or 77-85. That's where they're going to finish.
76. I don't know. They got lucky, I guess.
Look, guys, this is not a good team. They strike out way too much. They can't score. I mean, Bob Melvin said it looks like, what did he say? It looks like
instructional league.
Instructional league. Come on, guys. Your manager's telling you this looks like an These guys are, look, they don't know how to, guys go out. No one takes second base. The second baseman and shortstop both go out for the cutoff. They're just learning, these guys. They don't have the players. They don't have the players. They sent they're basically DFAing Tyro Estrada.
Yeah.
They're giving up on him. Conforto. He's gone. Yaz is going to be 49 next year or close to it. What is he going to be? 34?
Yeah. No, I think 37 or something.
No, I think he's 30. I think he's going to be 34. I think he's going to be 34 next year. But still, Yaz has had 2019, and then he had 60-game season in 2020 where they said, you know how many guys have had good 60-game stretches and then we never heard of them again? Happens all the time, guys. And, you know, the 60-game season, I'm sorry, BC, if you're still in here, but a World Series with 60 games, not just, it's not, you know, you can recognize it. People do. To me, 60 games is nothing. Ryan says Yaz is going to be 35 next year. Okay? 35. And look, strikes out way too much. Good fourth outfielder. I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to pay him $10 million. Just say, you know what? Maybe he wants to walk. I don't know. But you can find guys like Yaz for the minimum, league minimum from your farm system. I mean, Ryan or Grant McCray, you know, he strikes out a little more than Yaz, but still. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, does anybody believe that the Giants will contend next year? I mean, do you really think that they have to make changes? I don't know what the odds are. I placed it a week or two ago, 75% chance that Farhan's gone. I'd like to think it's closer to 90, but I don't know what this ownership group's thinking. There's no rumors out there of anybody, you know, maybe up for the job. Because if you fire Farhan in 2 weeks, you have a month to get somebody in there new. Because I'm telling you, if Pete Petulia is running it, you're not going to get anything much better. Because he's not aggressive at all. I think Farhan's actually more aggressive than Pete Petulia.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the salaries. Let me pull that up here. Check. Is there any other comments that are worth pulling up? So we want to look at the Giants for next year, right?
Yeah. Who's definitely got a contract, club option, and players option that we, of course, signed him to like idiots.
Yeah. All right. So here we go, guys. I can't blow it up too much because it doesn't expand on my end. It's in a
or you Excel. Can speak too. Just tell us.
It's in an Excel. So Blake Snell has an option next year for $31 million. He's leaving.
He's fine.
Robbie Ray actually has a player option, but he's probably coming back. It's $23 million the next 2 years. Matt Chapman is signed. We know that for 25. Taylor Rogers is signed for $11 million. I don't know if you guys can read. It's pretty small. I apologize. I wish I could blow this thing up for you, but okay.
And guys, is Taylor Rogers one of our best relievers? Just remember that. Not Tyler, Taylor. I mean, he's had a horrible year again.
Yeah, next year, Jung-Hoo Lee is oh, wait a minute. I was giving you the CBT tax numbers, not the that's what the CB tax is hit next year. Okay. I'll just do what let's see, project salary plus prorated bonus. So Rodgers is 12 million with 11 million cap hit. Jung-Hoo Lee, 17 and a quarter, 17.2 million with an 18.
Who knows how he's going to be next year off this injury?
Yeah. Logan Webb, 12 million next year.
Bargain.
And then it says 18 for the tax hit. And then after that, it goes to 23 million. I don't even know how that CBT.
Yes, there is no salary cap, or is that against that one big cap?
It says some tax thing. There's no real cap. Mike Yastrzemski is eligible for arbitration year number 4. He made 7.9 this year, so he's got arbitration number 4, and then after that, he's a free agent. Wilmer Flores is back for $3.5 million. I think it's a club. It might be a mutual option.
Get rid of him.
What else we got? Jordan Hicks, $12.5 million, and then Tom Murphy, $4 million.
For next
year. And then you got Lamont Wade is arbitration eligible to year 3. Taylor Rogers, year 3 arbitration. Tyler Matzik, whatever. Didn't they release him? Camilo Duvall is his first year of arbitration eligibility. And the rest of the guys are all, it looks like Patrick, no, they're all, none of them are arbitration eligible. The rest, Bailey, Beck, Walker, Harrison, Jelly, Wynn, Fitzgerald, Eric Miller, Landon Roop, Hayden Birdsong, Spencer Bivens, Mason Black, Encarnacion, Marco Luciano, McCray, Trevor McDonald, Wade Meckler, Elliot Ramos, Randy Rudd, Blake Sable, Casey Schmidt.
You're gonna have to pay those guys then.
Well, they're all minimum salaries. They're all making, the
couple million, but
not even a couple million. They're all going to be under $1 million. All will be under $1 million. So you can basically have guys, if you carried Harrison and Bailey, there's 2, Walker 3, Beck 4, Jelly 5, Fitzgerald 6, Miller 7, Roop 8, Birdsong 9, Bivens or Black, maybe one of those 10, Luciano 11, Matos 12, McCray 13, Ramos 14, Rodriguez 15, and that not all those guys will make it, but that's under 15 million for 15 guys right there. So they have the room to go pay guys. The question is, will they do it, and will they get the right guys? I don't even trust them, Lou, to get the right guys.
No, I don't believe anything the front office says. They've been lying to us for 3 years now. They lie about everything. I just would rather they say, hey, guys, we're going to rebuild, tell the season ticket holders, tell the fan base, and we're fine with that. As long as we know we have a direction. We're in the same, we're actually in a worse boat last year at this time than we are, and we spent an extra 40 million more. We're in a worse situation this year than we were last year, which is sort of hard to believe.
This year,
we had the worst defense in the league, and we led the league in strikeouts.
Yeah, nothing like it, right?
Yeah, and we couldn't even change the motto, so we had to keep the same thing.
Yeah, bring back the what was that car company that was crashing in the city? Cruise?
Waymo.
Cruise, wasn't it?
Oh, out here it's Waymo now. In fact,
they changed
a problem the other night. People are complaining because in the main lot of Waymo itself, one was sort of like, if you get close within 5 feet, they start honking. So they had 26 cars. No drivers were all honking at each other all night at 2:30 in the morning. I mean, it's just typical San Francisco.
Oh, excuse me, I'm getting tired. The ownership group needs to turn this over to competent baseball people, period. Whether that's in my call is Ned and Brian Sabian together.
Now, do you think after the way they were treated that they would want to come back?
I think they would probably do so.
Or is it all about the dollar?
I think it'd be both. I think it would have to be, they'd have to be under the right circumstances. They'd have to be given carte blanche for 2 years. And so, with the idea that they're going to look, they're not going to be, if you went that route, Ned and Brian, it wouldn't be long-term because, and they're not too old for the game. Believe me, they're not. They would be able to restructure the organization and build it with top personnel, player personnel, director of player personnel, farm system, get the right scouts. They know baseball people, both of them. And then what they would do, my plan would be that they train the next GM in training. And after 2 years, they hand it over to somebody who is of their ilk, that is their mindset, and it's a seamless transition. And that's how you build an organization. You have to, you cannot bring in somebody that's inexperienced and has never done it, never won.
And never played.
So, Brian was a top scout. Ned turned the Dodgers around. They didn't win.
The Giants to turn the Dodgers around.
Right. He left in 2005. The Dodgers were struggling.
Yep.
And they went to several NCLCS, 2 or 3. They were in the playoffs, and he built that foundation. And a lot of those guys Ned drafted, Corey Seager, Clayton Kershaw,
Bueller,
Cody Bellinger. Yeah. All those guys were Ned Colletti guys. Kershaw.
That's an all-star team right there.
Seager, Bellinger. And he signed some key free agents. Look, George, you could say Sabian never had a strong minor league system except for the 2 window with Buster Lincecum, Bum, Belt, Crawford. You also got Panda in there. You also got Sergio Romo. You have there's a few other Panic. There's guys that played key roles that were pieces of the puzzle, and you can't argue. I don't know how you can argue with 3 Worlds. Who's the last team to win 3 World Series in 5 years? It's the Giants. How many did the Astros have won 2 since when was their first one? 17, right? So it's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 7 years the Astros have won 2. That's the closest that anybody's come to the Giants. And prior to that, the Red Sox won 3 from 04 to, what was the Red Sox last one? 13?
Sounds right, or 11.
They won in 04, 07, or was it, I think.
And the thing about Boston is, remember, they finished dead last. And then the next year they won it.
Yeah. And then you had the Yankees in the late 90s winning 3 in a row. Didn't the Yankees win 96, 7, and 8? And then
I think 2 out of 3, and then they won.
No, I think they won.
Because September 11th, they were going for 3 in a row.
I think they did. I thought they did 96, 7, and 8. Let me look. Let me look.
I know the
And then
Oakland
they
A's
lost
did.
in 2000.
A's won 3 in a row.
In the 70s, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. World Series winners year by year. Let's pull this up. You ready for this? Let's take a look at World Series winners.
90, 2000, 2001.
All right, here we go. Let me get rid of that. Is that Ohtani thing still up there?
It is.
All right, let me get rid of that. All right. All right, here's your World Series winners, guys. Last year it was the Rangers. Is that bigger?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, Astros, Braves, Dodgers, we don't count. Nationals. Okay, Red Sox in 18.
4 or 5 years.
Astros, there's their second in 7 years. Cubs never won another one. Royals never another one. Okay, so the Red Sox won in 04, 13, and 18. Okay. Giants in 14, 12, and 10, as we know. Cardinals won in 11. Yankees at 9. Phillies, Red Sox in 7. Oh, wow. The Red Sox won 4 then. They won 04, 07, 13, and 18. So the Red Sox have 4 this decade. The Giants have 3. So the Red Sox have the most this century. Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox, Cardinals have 2 this century. White Sox, Florida, Angels, D-backs. Yankees have 2 this century, right? 2000 and 2009, correct? Yeah. Giants have 3, Red Sox have 4. There it is. Yankees
they were going for 4 straight.
Oh, no, they only won the Florida beat. The 96, 98, 99, they won 3 out of 4.
And then Arizona beat them. That was September 11th year. Or they would have won 4 straight championships.
Wait a minute. The Yankees won in 96, 98, 99, and 2000. They won 4 of 5. That's the last biggest dynasty. 96, 8, 9, and 2000. They won 4 of 5, and then they were going for 5 of 6 in 2001 and lost. The Braves got their only World Series title. No, they got one in 21 too. Sorry, they've had 2.
Yeah, but in the 90s, they won 11 straight divisions and only went to 1 World Series.
Yep. Kind of like the Dodgers, pretty much, but the Dodgers have been to a couple. Blue Jays won 2 in a row. Minnesota won in 91, and didn't they win one in the 80s?
Look at the A's. A's went to 3 straight World Series.
Yeah, 89, 90, or 88, 89, and 90. They lost 2 or 3, though. Just looking here. Here's where the A's were great, right here. Look at that.
And then the owner blew it up, didn't want to pay anybody.
Yep, Charlie Finley.
Giants could have won it in 71. That was Dan's year.
Yeah, that was year.
Beat us.
Yep. That was
look at Baltimore with their great pitching. 3 straight World Series.
First year of divisions was 69.
Yep. The amazing Mets.
But back in the 60s, 68, you had 12 teams in the National League, 12 in the American, and whoever won the league went to the World Series.
Yep.
No playoffs. No playoffs at all. So the Giants won it in 62.
No, 62 was the game. Remember, Game 7 got delayed.
Well, I meant they won. They won the national. They got the World Series. Yeah, Game 7, the line drive to Bobby Richardson with second and third, right?
Yeah, Willie Mays said he would have scored from first, guaranteed.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah. So the Yankee. Yeah. Wow. So all those years, the Giants, for the most part in the 60s, finished second. They were the best second place team. They couldn't get past. Yeah. So that's a little history, World Series there. So we'll kill that. But I think you're looking at the Giants. You had the Yankees winning 4 of 5, and the Giants winning 3 of 5. And the Giants ownership lives off that. And
that's getting old. The ballpark's
it's getting old. And
got to put a winning product on.
Yeah. Yeah, Buffalo Bills, Kyle, went to 4 consecutive Super Bowls, not 3. 4 in a row. 4. Not you think 3's remarkable. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. The very first one was their best chance.
Wide to the right.
Yeah, the kicker for the Bills. What was his name again?
God, I remember the game was at the Rose Bowl.
Poor guy. They lost 20-19 in 19
against the Giants.
91 it was.
Out on New York.
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name. Should remember it. Yeah, Scott Norwood. Thank you, Turd. Marcos, you got it first. Yeah, you guys all. Scott Norwood. 91, and then 92 and 93, they lost to the the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Wait, it was 1990, not 91. 90, they lost to the Giants. 91, they lost, was it the Redskins at the time? And 92, 93 was the Cowboys, I think. Yeah. And then 94, the Niners won. 91, I'm pretty sure, was it Washington?
Could have been Washington. I mean, Washington was a powerhouse back then, too. People forget about that.
Somebody tell me that. My mind tells me Washington Super Bowl 91, but beat Buffalo. But I may be wrong. Philip says yes, Washington. Minnesota lost 4.
But not in a row.
But not in a row. Denver lost 4 before they won 1. Denver lost 4. At one time, it was Minnesota was 0-4 and Denver was 0-4, and then came Washington or Buffalo. But then Denver won. How many has Denver won? 2?
3.
Is it 3?
Didn't Elway win it 2 years?
He won it 2 years, yeah, and then Manning won it.
And then Manning won it. And the worst Super Bowl ever that was here against Carolina. I think the final was like 17-12 or something. It was horrible.
I think I might have to ban this guy and put him in a timeout. I'm going to put this guy in a timeout right now. That's blasphemy right there, isn't it?
I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
On the screen right there.
Oh.
At least Denver has won this century, unlike you guys, referring to the Niners. Chat, should I put him in a timeout for that?
Yeah, the Niners also, they won previously. He's talking this century. How about the 80s and 90s?
You know what?
Remember the Orange Crush? Couldn't get it with Craig Morton? When they got creamed.
I just want to say this to everybody. I put out a tweet the other day, and people thought I was a Padre fan, and people started slamming me because I said something derogatory about the Giants. Oh, and they said, oh, yeah, those 3 World Series, all those trophies on your TV mantle must be blinding you. Like I'm a Padre fan. And they started pumping up the 3 World Series trophies of the Giants. You know what, guys? The past is the past. If you want to live and say, oh, yeah, what about when's the last World Series you won? Guys, who cares what happened in the past? We're talking this year and going forward. The Giants, if you want to talk about the Giants and you're a Padre fan and say, oh, yeah, when's the last time you won it? I understand that's talk. But if you're a crappy team, just own it. Just own it and say, yeah, we suck right now. It'll be you'll just, going back and say, yeah, well, we won in 14, 12, and 10. How many did you win? I get it. And sometimes I do that myself, but it's whatever.
And Dan, I just want to bring up a comment by Vespas, if that's how you say the name. Yeah, because the Niners haven't won, but you know what? You think
what time's that one at?
Either Super Bowl or bust. I'd rather a team.
Which one is that?
We got to win the Super Bowl or bust. Unlike the Giants saying, "Hey guys, I hope we can win the third wild card, so at least we get in." Come on, guys. It's come to a point now where, and again, the Niners, they all know it. They haven't won. That's why there's so much pressure on them. I mean, it's one of those things. It just hasn't happened.
Yeah.
That's why when you win it's that special. As Dan says, I'm 57. When the Giants won in 2010, like Dan, most guys said, I just hope we can see one World Series title by the Giants. Guys, I was at the Earthquake World Series. I was down at Dodger Stadium when the Giants just had to get one win, and there was going to be a playoff, back at the stick. We've all been through it, but that's why you got to appreciate when you do win the thing. Right now it's just our time of the year was, 2010, 2012, 2014. You got to remember, in both 2010, 12, and 14, the Giants were underdogs in every single round of the playoffs. Every single round. When we beat the Tigers, when Panda hit the 3 homers, we were $2.40 dog, even though we had 4 home games and they only had 3. I mean, that tells you how big of a favorite Detroit was. But that's, it's hard. It's hard to get the playoffs, but to win it, it's a different era.
Hey guys, I'm looking right now on YouTube, and help us out here on YouTube if you're watching, and on X, head over to YouTube. We've got 84 watching on YouTube and another 84 on X. Is that right? 84 and 84 is 168. Yeah. So we got 84 on each. We're at 47 likes right now. See that? See that, Lou?
Yeah.
47 likes. Let's see if we can pump that up to 80 real quick, guys. This
way we get a good night's sleep being a Sunday.
Yeah. Everybody just hit that little X and hit that like button right now. It helps the algorithms. It helps the show. Guys, we want to get this show out to as many people as possible because we want Farhan gone. We do not want the Giants coming back. If you're a Giants fan, you've got to want Farhan gone. You can't let this guy destroy this franchise. And really, you're trying to get to the owners because Farhan's not going to fire himself. So we're trying to get this out to as many people. So we got 49 likes. Guys, I know there's 85 watching. Come on, pump those likes up. There's 51. Just hit the like button. What it does is YouTube kicks it out to more people. You know how things come up that get more liked and all of a sudden I've had some Twitter comments where I get no response. And then all of a sudden I'll put something out and I'll get like 100+ responses. And guys, and it's because the more responses it gets, the more the algorithm, it comes up on people's feeds. So hit that like button for us, guys. All we want to do is grow the show and get the word out. Look, we're not anybody special, but yeah, you are, Lou. I'm not. That's right. Let me say it. Lou is special. Okay. Lou is special, but I'm not. Yes, Vespa, YouTube algorithm will suggest the channel more due to the likes and views. So yeah, if you would please hit that like. Kyle, thanks. He says I'd hit it twice if I could, brother. Appreciate that, Kyle. Appreciate you. Kyle, he's been around since the beginning when this show launched. Guys, look, I'm just a Giants fan like you. I'm a sports fan. I'm a Bay Area, homegrown. Grew up in Concord, born and raised in Concord. My brothers still live there. I'm the only one that left the area.
Smart
Not be,
move.
well, I left in the 80s for work and family life, but you know, I love the Bay Area. But I'll say this, and I love the Giants and the Niners and the Warriors, and you know, I'm a big, obviously, sports fan. Hey, Jake, our Giants are a joke. Dan, can you get Larry Bear on? I will try. I have his business card. I've talked to Larry. I've met Larry. I've talked to him face to face in the press box in Scottsdale during training camp or spring training, not training camp, spring training. I don't know if he will do it. Probably if he listened to any pieces of the show, he would probably not want to come on here. It's like a firing squad. But I would be respectful to him, but I would be direct. And I will try. I will definitely try. I was looking
Dan, you're not on the Giants payroll? I like that.
No, I'm not on the payroll.
You're honest.
Yeah. And I will try to get him on. And but guys, as I said, I'm just a fan, but I see it how I speak it how I see it. And I'm not a homer that is here to tell you that this organization is on the verge of turning it around. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Do I believe that Bryce Eldridge is going to be a really, really good baseball player in the major leagues? I do.
I think make sure he stays healthy.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's the real deal. But do I think that's enough? No, it's not nearly enough because I don't think they have anybody else to support him. Okay. And why do I say that? Because the Angels had Shohei and Mike Trout and they couldn't make the playoffs. You need a lot. You need a lot. The Giants championship years, go back and look at those teams. They were
20 deep.
Yeah, they were deep. They were deep, and they had guys that didn't strike out all the time. You know, it was a different. You had a professional guy running the show. Look, the Giants
were being. Look at the most simplest trade. We got Scudero. Do people realize the Giants wouldn't have gotten the World Series without Scudero? He was so clutch. We don't have anyone clutch.
Yeah, you're talking NFL, Philip. You're right. Look, the Niners were a joke for years, right? Before Jim Harbaugh came, right? And then when Harbaugh left, they became a joke again. Jim Tomsula, Chip Kelly. Who else was hired? Wasn't there a third coach in there? Was Terry Donahue in that group?
No, that was he was way earlier.
He was way earlier. Who was it? It was
Singletary, the linebacker.
We had Singletary before Harbaugh, right? Yeah.
So,
but then you had after Harbaugh left, you had Tom Sula and Chip Kelly, right?
Yeah.
And then Jed York said, "You know what? I'm probably best if I just stay out of trying to run the operation and hire some people that know the game." And that's what the San Francisco Giants need to do. Jed York was smart enough to turn the club over to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, and it has paid off very handsomely. They have been to 4 out of the last 5 NFC championships, 2 Super Bowls. They haven't been able to win it all, but they are an exciting team. They are fun to watch. They are entertaining. You know that when you watch the 49ers, they're going to give you a good show. They're not going to win every game, but they're going to be worth watching. Same with the Warriors. Even though the Warriors lost a lot of games last year, they were fun to watch. They were in all those games. How many games did they lose in the last 2 minutes that were, heartbreakers? Look, the Giants aren't even entertaining, guys. They scored their first run today after 32 scoreless innings.
And it was a bum that hit the homer. It wasn't like one of their veterans.
Yeah. And, hey, hats off to what do we have that flag up there for? Where did that come from? Did I hit it by mistake? Maybe I did earlier. Let's put the NorCal logo up there.
Go USA. There you go.
How about Elliot Ramos hitting the first home run from the right side of the plate into McCovey Cove?
Yep. And a losing game.
But he drilled that. Now, I was on the show earlier this year. I don't recall what I said. Somebody in the chat will remember. I said that the first player to hit one into the Cove right-handed, I thought I said Marco Luciano, but I might have said Ramos, but I think it was Luciano. Does anybody remember what I said? I'm pretty sure I said Luciano. So
394 feet, I think it went. I mean, that's a poke.
Yeah, and
opposite way.
He hit it right down the line, and it was on the line. But how about kayak? What's the guy's name in the?
Landed right on him. Dave.
Kayak
Dave.
I'm getting a lot of look. See, they're putting this out. I've already got 53 likes on this.
Yeah, McCovey Dave.
Yeah, McCovey. I said good because the question was this. Here's what came out. A guy put this out. McCovey Cove Dave says he wouldn't give the historic splash hit. Hold on here. Let me move this out of the way. Says he wouldn't give the historic splash hit ball back to the Giants after he says recent negotiations didn't go well, but he would share it with Cooperstown. He says it's my most precious ball. I've worked over 20 years for it. A lot of people were giving him grief in the chat, like, oh, what do you mean work? All this. I said this. Good for Dave. The Giants are loaded, and they don't own the waters. They own the land behind, in front of the water, on each side, but they don't own the water. If the Giants want the ball bad enough, they should pay up. They are a cheap organization that has put out one of the most boring products in history. They undercut their season ticket holders. I know, as I was one. Lou, you know what it's like. They undercut us, and they sell these.
I was saying when you left the thing, being a season ticket holder, they want money now, and as soon as December, they'll do some kind of little Christmas deal for tickets, and then once the season starts in May, they'll do the 501. And, then they do the $10 tickets. If the Giants do something, and the player has a 20 on him, they'll say, hey, because somebody hit 2 homers in a game, we now have tickets for $20.
Yes.
There you go. I'd give the ball back if they fire.
Yes. And Robert says the same thing. I think that's what Dave does. I'm going to put that out there right now here. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good
Great idea. Dave, hold on here. Let me see this here. Let's do this.
And I know that guy's gotten a lot of balls before. He probably gave the Giants deals. It's like, wait a minute. I gave you guys breaks before.
Dave, tell them you will give the ball back if they agree to fire Farhan. There we go. Dave, tell them. Is that right? Is that proper? Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Dave, tell them you will give the ball back if they agree to fire Farhan. Why is it underlining tell? Maybe I need to put a comma. Dave. There we go. There we go. All right. Thanks for the great idea, Ben and Robert. That's hilarious. He's called McCovey Cove Dave. Yes, but that's
what it is.
But he's still Dave. His name's Dave. and the guy gets every ball, man. I don't know if the guy, he's like a great center fielder out there in the water with his kayak. He seems to be like on the ball so quickly. Yeah, that would be great to get McCovey Cove Dave on here, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How could we get a hold of McCovey Cove Dave? Let me see if does he have a Twitters? Let me look. McCovey Cove Dave. Yes, he does. I am following him, but it never pops up. Let me see. Does he have a direct message? No. Let's see. He hasn't posted since May 11th. And he doesn't have any. Wow, he doesn't even post.
But it is under McCovey Cove Dave.
Yeah, he's got almost 10,000 followers, 9,800 followers, and he doesn't post, but he's got an Instagram. Okay, let me see if I can get him on Instagram. Figure this out, guys. Open Instagram. All right, I'm opening my Instagram. There we go. I'm following him there. No, follow. Okay, I'm following him there. Contact. Oh, there's his contact number. I'll message him. You can't message this account unless they follow you. Okay, well, he doesn't follow me and he doesn't know me. I'll contact Dave. All right. There's his phone number. I'll text him tomorrow. Robert, he stopped posting in May when he realized they were bad. Yep. Guys, seriously, the team is in dire straits. It really is. It needs fresh blood. I will tell you this. If they do anything noteworthy with Farhan, like sign a Juan Soto, I'll put a cream pie right in my face on this show. Hey, Buster, come here. Hey, buddy. Come here, Buster. Come on. Come here, Buster. I think he's outside. Buster, come on. Come here. Buster, come on. Come here, bud. Here he comes. Come on. All right. Say hello to everybody. Sit. Hey, can you sit? Say hello.
Buster.
Okay, say hello to everybody, buddy. Okay.
You look tired like all of us.
Yeah. Time to get Buster a treat, guys. We're gonna close this show with a treat for Buster. And hold on a minute. I'm gonna get him some treats, his nighttime treats, and we'll show you what Buster can do. But what was I gonna say about the Giants? I forgot what I was gonna say about.
There's no hope.
Yeah, there is no hope without a new regime. Seriously. Let me put this right on the tragic number for a minute. Let you see that. I'll be right back with Buster's treats.
Instant One, I like your comments tonight. You might be the best person of the chat. Instant One, everything you've been saying has been positive. I like it.
All right, Buster boy. I need you to sit. Get back. Go back. Go back a little bit this way. Go on. Go back. There we go. All right. Lay down. Lay down. Okay, Buster. I want to put this on your paw. Okay, I need you to leave it. Leave it. You just leave it right there. How long should we go before we let him have it?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead and take it, Buster.
I like that. Good trick.
All right, Buster, let's try this one. Leave it. Leave it. He's not moving, is he?
Nope.
Okay, go ahead and take it. Take it, Buster.
Good job, Bust.
You see him tilt his head down, knock it over. All right, one more, Buster. Where do we want this one? You want to do a hockey face-off and see who gets it first? If I do a face-off, I will get it. Because he. All right. Let's try putting it. We've never did it right here on his nose here. Hold on. Easy. Leave it. Wait. No, he did. We've never done that. All right. All right. Should we put it on the paw or on the head?
I like the paw. The paw's nice.
All right. Leave it, Buster. He'll just wait a minute or two. I've had him wait as long as 1 or 2 minutes.
Go for it. Go get it, Bus.
He's not going to move until I tell him.
I like it.
He'll freeze and wait. Okay, take it.
Good job. Here, since we're about to end it, I'll talk about MF because I'm a little bit tired being a Sunday night. Niners, I think today might have been the best thing. I think, they thought maybe they were better than they are. They went against a confusing thing, and Brock has a lot to worry about. But this is also, you guys got to remember, for the Niners, first 3 games of the season, most of these guys didn't play together because of holdouts, preseason. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Niners, tough game today, but you know what? You're playing
and you don't win on the road when you have 2 huge turnovers in the red zone.
And the Vikings, they're not a horrible team. They're probably a 500 close to, the Vikings are going to be right in that 8 to 10 game, probably when the season ends. They might even fight.
They have 3 teams in their division, all 2-0. They're in the best division of football. Let's everyone take a step back. It's been 2 games. Everyone take a step back.
So you played a tough team. They're you got their fans. The 49ers have not won there in like 8 trips in a row.
Since 92. 6 straight.
Yeah, it's very
tough. They lost last year on Monday night. People forget.
Right. And so, the Niners, and they're facing a hungry Rams team, but they lost Cooper Kupp today.
Yeah, now they've lost both receivers. That's a big game on Sunday because you can't go 1-2. And they can't go 0-3.
Right. It's going to be a tough game because the Rams are going to have their backs to the wall playing for, their season on the line. The Niners are going to have to come out and take it to them. And we'll see. Niners were 3-5 2 years ago and won 8 in a row. That's right. And then they went all the way into and lost to Philly with Purdy getting hurt. So, guys, tomorrow is Monday. No Giants game. So why don't we do this? We'll come back Tuesday night. Giants take on the Orioles. A game time about 3:30 our time. So game will probably end somewhere around 6:15-ish. But we'll wait till about 8, right?
Niners are favored by 7.5.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Monday night. Okay, let's Tuesday night, we're good. 8 o'clock for during the week. We do better at that time of the night. People are getting more settled, and we'll come back in Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Giants, Orioles.
See what Snell does.
Could be the burial of the Giants with their tragic number. The Giants could lose another game tomorrow. If the Braves win to the Dodgers tomorrow, that magic or that tragic number drops to 2. And then a loss Tuesday night and a win by Atlanta, if they're playing Tuesday, I think they are, you got yourself buried in that coffin there. And then we can, we've had, that's just for fun. But Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks for being here at NorCal Sports Network. We're not just a Giants post-game show or a Giants show. We've got more sports in us. We've got, we've covered a lot on here, guys. We've covered obviously the Giants and the Warriors and the Niners, but we've had horse racing on here. We've covered some Sharks. We've covered what else have we covered on here? Some game. We're going to be doing a fantasy football show coming up on during the week at some point. We're going to put together a fantasy football show. So anybody who plays fantasy football, we could give you some tips and guys you should pick up, who you should play. And what else can we cover?
And then Dan, I read the NorCal Sports Network Times today, and in March, when spring training goes, if you're a member only of NorCal Sports Network, we're going to have a lottery to actually get into the fantasy with Dan next year for baseball. Not only are we going to talk about Giants misery, we're going to be talking about fantasy baseball. And then whoever wins it will probably maybe someone like me will give you front row tickets for a ball game. We'll have something so you can look forward to winning something. Something like that. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I like it. Hold on. I'm going to make another banner.
And Dan, how's the weather out there?
Here in Arizona?
Yeah, still hot. Everything all right?
Still hot. Starting to cool down this week. We're going to get into the 90s, which will be nice.
Nice.
So, guys, one thing we will not cover here on NorCal Sports. Okay. That's right there. That's enough coverage of the WNBA.
Yeah.
I am not a WNBA fan. I like Caitlin Clark. I guess if you could say I cover it, I will talk maybe about Caitlin Clark as a basketball player. But the league, forget it. I have no interest.
Dan, my nephew works for the LA Sparks. If we ever wanted to do something, we could get him on the air and he could talk about how it is. But I just don't, I'm not interested. I mean, did anybody know that there was 3 games on ABC this week?
No, I had no clue.
Even knew.
I had no clue.
And are you aware the playoffs are right around the corner? Nobody.
I don't care. I'm not interested in watching a bunch of women play 2 feet below the rim.
Yeah. Now, college football is a little bit different.
Yes, college football we do cover. Yes, I love college football. In fact, if you guys were with us last night, you saw some Cal Stanford highlights, 1979, with my brother showing
and
some
everybody
highlights.
In the chat, we don't always like to talk, but I'm pretty good friends, and Dan wants to get him on there. But a sports reporter who's worked in the Bay Area for over 30 years.
I know who you're talking about.
His nickname is Mr. Involvement. But, we're trying to take NorCal in a different direction. It's all just not completely talking about bashing the Giants. Yeah, right now I think probably the WNBA and the Giants baseball are about the same level.
Except there's actually more action in the WNBA, I'm sure.
Yeah. There you go. Ryan knows. So, I mean,
I'm not hating on Vern Glenn. I like Vern Glenn.
We like Vern. It's, we want to put different people on, different players.
I like Vern
sports
Glenn.
Broadcaster. I just played in Vern Glenn's golf tournament a couple of weeks ago. Been friends with him for 20 years. So that's the one thing about Dan. He's just not sticking on his laurels. We're getting great people on. We're trying to do something. And, the other thing, guys, is you guys, the chat makes the show, not the other way around. So, if one of you guys have a friend that might be in the business we don't, are unaware of, let Dan know, but let's, we're trying to grow this NorCal Sports Network even bigger.
Yes. I was looking for a photo here of me on the golf course, but I do not see it. I was going to show you a photo of a former Niner, but I don't see it in. I got so many photos. How many photos you think I have on my phone, guys? Maybe we should do a closest. How do you find out your photo library, the total?
So I have 1,845.
How do I find? Let me close out of it. Open it up. Do you go by under library? Okay. Yeah. How many photos do you think I have on my phone? Take a wild stab. Oh, Ryan, look at that. Oh, he's got 17,296. Well, you got me beat.
Wow. Must be an apple.
I got 13,851. Yeah, low battery too.
Guys, we're not all talk. Dan, I just sent you I just text you a photo.
You sent me a photo? In a there it is. There's Vern. All right. I like it. I've got one in my phone here.
You can show everybody at NorCal Sports. We don't lie.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to show the photo?
Sure, no problem. There's sort of a size difference. I'm 6'3". So
are you 6'3"?
Yeah, about 6'2" and a half, 6'3". So there's Vern.
Yeah.
We've been friends for over 30 years. Golf.
I've got one from I gotta find it in here. I know what time of the year it was. It was around August of 22. Or was it later than that? I was up for hold on. See if anybody can guess who it is. I'll bet you somebody will nail it. Let me find it here. Oh, here it is. Who's that, everybody?
So he's
anybody know? There's another one.
Former running back?
Yeah.
Dr. Dre. I don't think it's Dr. Dre.
Make it closer.
Did he have a run of 92 yards in overtime against the New York Jets?
No. Spencer Stewart got it.
Oh, that was Ricky Waters?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him with the beard.
Yeah, that's Ricky.
It did look like 50 cents for a second the first time I saw it.
Yeah, that's Ricky Waters.
I think that's what we'll have to do one year. One of these slow nights.
Hey, look. Ricky's got this hat on. He's got.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
He's got this hat.
Yeah.
Same hat that I'm wearing. I just put on.
Notre Dame boy. Now, one of these nights, what we'll do when it's slow, I'll send some photos of people and have the people guess who I run into. I run into a lot of people at Augusta at the Masters. Like a Niners show, I can show our Super Bowl party from last year. We had some famous Hall of Famers, got lucky.
You want to know what the Giants do to me when I go to the games? Lou, you know what the Giants do to me when I go to the game?
Talk to me. Oh, they put you to sleep?
Yeah.
What is that, about the second inning?
Yeah, just Wow. Let's see if we got any other pictures of note here. Anything? Do you know I have a picture with Farhan, the guy I want rid of? You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was open to him when he first got here.
Yeah. All right. It's 11:30 Sunday. Some of us got to work tomorrow morning.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let me get out of here. Let me put the music on. We'll see you guys Tuesday night, everybody.
Chad, good job. Good job this week.
Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button on your way out, guys. We appreciate you. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Giants postgame with the Baltimore Orioles and the San Francisco Giants. Thank you guys for joining. What does Robert say here last? I took a young couple who are cousins to their first Major League game today. Very disappointing. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's tough to go out and watch it, but Dan doesn't work. He's retired. No, I got to work tomorrow. I actually got some important deals I got to hopefully close tomorrow. So, guys, have a great night. We'll see you Tuesday.
Again,
all right.